Hey, my third, fourth, and fifth graders. It is your favorite principal, Mrs. O'Neill. I just wanted to read you one of my favorite stories tonight. It's called The Legend of Spookly the Square Pumpkin. He's square. Should pumpkins be square? This is written by Joe Triano and illustrated by Susan Manta. The reason why I love this book is the guy who wrote this story, his name was Joe. His son would always ask him to make up stories at night for him. So he made up this story about a square pumpkin to teach his son a lesson about we should never judge a book by its cover. Okay. Make sure you're all snugly in. It's going to be a couple minutes, okay? One day in the pumpkin patch, the strangest little pumpkin hatched. Spookly wasn't like his friends. They all had curves. He had ends. You see Spookly right here? Spookly was different. He was odd. He was rare. Spookly the pumpkin wasn't round. He was a square. While the round pumpkins had fun rolling around, poor Spookly sat there shaped all wrong. He tried and tried with all his might, but he couldn't budge. He just sat tight. Why do you think he couldn't roll? Why do you think? The other pumpkins teased him because he was square. Spookly wished he was round and could roll everywhere. That is, until one night when they all discovered it's fine to be round when the weather is fair, but there are times where it's better to be a square. Halloween was just a day away when a mighty storm blew across the bay. It tossed the round pumpkins to and fro. It snapped their vines, then off they'd go. Oh, look at them all rolling around. Bouncing left, slamming right, banging, bashing. What a sight! Spookly sat there filled with fright, but glad to be a square that night. Why do you think he was happy to be a square? Because he couldn't bounce anywhere. He was safe, and his friends were not. Oh, no. Look at all his friends. Oh, no. Suddenly, the fence gave way. 3 pumpkins rolled out and into the bay. Do you see the bay where all the water is? Spookly knew what must be done. It was up to him. He was the one. He teetered. He tottered. He tipped. He tried. He finally flipped. He was on his side. Again he tipped. Again he flopped. Again he flipped, and then he stopped. Right in the gap where the fence has snapped, he blocked the way. The hole was capped. The hole was capped. So look, it means he is blocking the hole. He is capping the hole so nobody else gets lost. Aw, all the pumpkins shouted, "Hooray! Spookly the square pumpkin had saved the day." Then a pumpkin hit him with a whack. He thought his shell would start to crack. Then a pumpkin hit him with a whack. Oh, I think I already read that. Sorry. Then another one hit him with a thump, and another one hit him with a smack. Then, one by one, a ton of pumpkins piled on the stack, with a bang and a bash, and a crunch and a crash, and then it all went black. At dawn, when the storm had stopped, the farmers came out and checked his crop. Do you see the farmer? The pumpkins are his crop. He picked his pumpkins up one by one and laid them out in the warm, dry sun. And when the last was moved away, the farmer could see what had saved the day. And when the last one was moved, the farmer could see what had saved the day. An odd-shaped pumpkin, short and dense, was wedged against the broken fence. Look at Spookly. He saved the day. Its shell was bruised, its stem was too, but there was brave little Spookly, sitting straight and strong and true. Right then and there, the farmer knew, of all the seeds he's ever sown, Spookly's were the most special that has ever grown. And the next year, when it was time to sow, he sowed these seeds in every row. He watered and weeded and watched them grow. And, The morning about mid-June, when the pumpkin patch began to bloom, there were tiny pumpkins everywhere, hundreds and hundreds, most of them square. But some were cubes and some were rectangles. Some were flat and others were triangles. There was a bed of bright red ones and 2 rows of blue ones. There were polka dot pumpkins and rainbow ones too. There were thousands of colors and hundreds of shapes. Oh, what a garden variety makes. Now, every year on Halloween, Spookley's Patch is quite the scene. People come from far and near to see what wonders grew that year. They stop, they gawk, they gaze, they stare. Then they pick a pumpkin that's round, triangular, or perfectly square. Now you know the story of how Spookley grew. Maybe someday you'll tell someone too. And they'll go and tell someone who will go and tell another. And maybe one day we will all discover you can't judge a book by its cover or a pumpkin by its cover. So see, boys and girls, it is absolutely okay to be yourself and to be unique. If we were all the same, it would be so boring, okay? So it is okay to be that square pumpkin. I love you just the way you are. Good night, and I will see you tomorrow.